talking about if Jim Harbaugh's? I don't know.
I'm just saying, if Jim Harbaugh,
he can sit on the toilet all game. I don't care what he's doing. He can go watch his mom in a bathing suit and oil her up. I don't care what he's doing.
No, don't be gross. That's gross.
Well, that's what he sounded like.
No, that's not. That's not at all what he sounded like. That's not at all what he said. But I think if Ryan Day loses this game and you lose 3 in a row and you lose it after Jim not being on the sideline, not coaching, I think Buckeye Nation will riot. After all the work you guys have put in with this obnoxious cheating scandal.
Bryce.
Forget about it. This baby's over. Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Touchdown. No flag. Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins. Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa! Can they catch him? No! Donovan Edwards again.
Alrighty, welcome back to another episode 35 of the Scarlet and Blue Show. And this is the episode for which this show is created.
Yes.
I think after this episode Tuesday of next week will be the other reason, because that means one of us is going to be dancing on the other's grave. And this is what we're here for.
I'm already tab dancing on yours. Trust me. I'm already tab dancing on yours.
Wow. Is that the attitude amongst the Buckeye community right now? It's automatic win?
Listen, man. I've been in some spaces, my guy Ramon, Seaball, Chris, Cam, Cleveland Mike. No, we're ready.
Wow.
It's crazy, Bryce. It's funny because like we're in these spaces and we're asking these Teton fans, tell us what you think. Like, what do you think about the game? And like, just tell us, give us some football reasons. We don't hear a Nan. Bryce, you know what Nan means? Nan.
None.
It's a Dade County term. You know what Nan means? Nothing. They can't give us anything. And that's exactly what you're about to do. Give me Nan. So let's go.
No, wow. Let's dive in then. Okay, so you're feeling confident.
Yes.
I am
not blowout confident. I'm very confident we can win this game.
Okay, I was gonna ask you. We'll have score predictions at the end here, but without Harbaugh there, I'm not as confident as I was before. I'm confident, but not like I was before. Which, by the way, our little bet's off. If my head coach isn't coaching,
I don't. Oh no! Oh no!
What do you mean no?
We played you last year without Travion and JSN. I don't want to hear it. Also,
the value of 2 players is nothing compared to your coach.
False. Coaches actually.
Yes.
No, Bryce. Actually, if you look at how much, you can find out how many points players and coaches actually account for. Coaches barely even the most amount of points a coach can account for in a game is 3. That's the high point. Most times maybe about 1, maybe 1.5 at the most. So no, I don't want to hear it. JSN is worth more than 1.5 points.
No, he's not. Not with all of your weapons.
You are crazy.
You have Marvin Harrison. You have Emeka Iboka. You have these freshmen.
Egbuka.
Doesn't matter. You have all these guys. Don't tell me that those guys can't replace. That's nonsense.
You wait. You think Emeka Ibuka is the same player as JSN?
I think between the rest of your talent on the outside, yeah, you can make up for that.
Okay, Chris.
Now, I don't think you have a running back as good as Henderson. So, yeah, I think that's a loss. But he played freshman year too, and minimal production.
Let's back to this year.
So there's that. But I do feel confident. I think it. Okay, well let's take one step backwards here, because if you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch it. A ton of fun with our old man. Our old man. That sounds weird. Our dads.
Ew.
Yeah, our dads joining us on the show. There was one point where Garrison and I both felt, and we texted afterwards about this, that we had to. We were worried to have to get the show back on the rails. We thought, oh no.
Did you ever at all see like I'm making like kind of like gestures? And I wanted to say something to you. I'm like,
we should have figured out a signal.
Bryce, I was trying to make eye contact with you, but I was like, yeah, we should have had a word, what do you call it? A safe word.
Yeah, well, a signal because you couldn't get a word in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. So go check it out. You get to see where we get our fanhood from. You get to see where we get the passion from, the smack talk. I think your dad is way more tame than you are. So that was a surprise. I expected a little more fire from the Arlen Dean Gaddy, but
Well,
that's all right.
you know, he's a very regal man.
He
You
is.
can't. Well, but I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure if I texted this to you or if I put this in the chat, but I was like, you know, it's crazy to me. And I think I did. I said my fandom is more in line with your dad's, and your fandom is more in line than my dad, where you guys have gone through like the worst of times in the rivalry. Well, me and Bob, we've been living it up. We
Yeah,
lived through the
yeah.
greatest times in the rivalry. So
It was a good trip down memory lane. And if we got the young Buckeye listeners who think it's always been just domination, well, go back a few more years and you'll see that it's been a little bit different. We get a decade where there's been Michigan dominance, and then obviously the Bo Woody era was almost 50-50, right? It was 5-4-1. Yeah, whatever. Either way, one win advantage. And so ton of fun there. And so, anyways, yeah, go check the episode out if you haven't. I will say we didn't really get a chance to talk about Maryland and Minnesota, which I don't know how much there's to talk about for Ohio State and Minnesota. You guys did what you're supposed to do against a bad team. And Michigan obviously got into a bit of a dogfight, a bit of a scare there at the end. And so the reason I bring that up is not to recap Maryland, because that's not what we're doing here. We're obviously previewing the game, but I do think it does create a sense of worry. It was the first time that Michigan fans, Ohio State fans, the nation saw a splinter in the armor of Michigan, saw a weakness, saw, Penn State, you could make the argument that they didn't have confidence in their throwing game. Whether that's right, wrong, we'll never know the answer to that. They ran the ball 32 times and they won the game, and the defense was solid. Go play Maryland, you go up 23-3. Offense is not getting a ton of productivity, but the defense is playing well. Special teams obviously playing out of their minds. You get that big lead. The Terps come fighting back. JJ throws the pick. We get the ball at the 50, can't get points out of it, have to give the ball back to then rely on our defense. And it creates this feeling where, okay, the spread of this game opened at what, 5.5 or 5?
5.5.
5.5, and it's now down to, I think I've seen 3, as low as 3.
It's down to 3.
Yeah. So now is that a confidence being lost? It was the spread too high to begin with? Are you seeing what you saw in College Park and you're saying, okay, Michigan's not as good? I don't know. We can talk about that here. So I just think all that to say, looking back at this last week and how we approach this game, I am not going to pull back on anything in any confidence, aside from Jim not being there. I'm not going to pull back on any confidence. You guys have looked good the last 2 weeks, but you've looked good against the bottom of the Big Ten.
The same teams that you have played, so throw that out the window.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But I'm also seeing Buckeye fans getting all riled up because you beat some bad teams. So if you're going to sit here and say Michigan got riled up, well, then you got to sit here and say that Ohio State fans are getting riled up too.
I don't think it's so much, Bryce. It's not about beating up on the bad teams. It's about the progression of the offense, because the offense has struggled no matter what and against who. So when you see the progression of the offense, you are going to be happy. Like I'll give you an example. If JJ McCarthy was struggling in the beginning of the year, all things being the same, but then against the same bad talent, he started to play better. That means he is playing better. Like all things being equal, he is playing better. I think right now where Ohio State fans are looking at ourselves and you guys is that, and like I said, we can talk about the whole cheating. We don't have time for that. So we're going to throw that out right now. Since you've lost your head coach, and since you've played the 2 most talented teams on your schedule to date, Maryland and Penn State, you have struggled. It was the first time you played a defense in Penn State. And it is funny because I was talking to someone, and they say, and they're a Michigan fan, they said, it's funny. He says, I think we're kind of gassing that run game against Penn State up too much. he said, we still punted the ball a lot in the second half. And then you come up to this, then you face the best offense you're going to see in the Big Ten so far, with the most talented quarterback you've seen all year, and they thrash you guys. And I mean, Mikey Sayers still had 2 picks. I think he only got beat once, but he's on the inside. Outside of that, your outside corners got beat up. They're getting beat. And
yeah, Will Johnson got toast on a touchdown.
Or not, it wasn't a
Bad look.
touchdown. It wasn't a touchdown.
Yeah, they scored.
They basically did. But
Oh yeah, you're right. He was
stuffed to the
down.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I mean, and so when we see that as Buckeye fans, this is what we think. We believe we have a better defense than Penn State, and we believe we're more suited to go against like your guys' mammoth package, because our defensive ends are not 240, 250. Our DNs are 270, 275. On top of that, this isn't Maryland's offense. This isn't Maryland's wide receivers. This isn't Maryland's running back, Maryland's tight end. So when we see that,
go on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. When we see that, and we see how your quarterback has been struggling at the tail end of the year, oh no, we like what we see, because what we have noticed in Buckeye Nation, we don't hear that same bravado you guys had in the first 8-9 weeks. That same bravado was not there. It's not.
I don't know about that. I didn't get that from you, but I got that from other Bucks.
Because I had to keep some decorum.
You do.
Can't be too.
You do. You're a man of integrity and decorum. Garrison, decorum, Gaddy.
Yeah, I might go off the rails sometimes, but not on here. Not on here.
So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's better quarterback, Talia or Kyle?
Because
it cut out. What'd you say?
Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Kyle. I'll tell you why Kyle's better. I think he has just as good as arm talent as Talia. But here's the big thing. He don't turn the ball over like Talia does.
Yeah, which I've been critical of.
He is more he's more disciplined. No, and if you want to sit here and say, well, it's because of the weapons, that doesn't move me at all. He does not turn the ball over like Talia does. He has 100 more dropbacks than JJ, and has the same amount of picks. So,
wait, say that stat again.
He has 100 plus more dropbacks than JJ, and still has the same amount of picks as JJ.
Yeah, he gets a clean pocket, get the ball quick to his guys. And I obviously disagree with that. I think your receivers play more of a role, but I think it's a good conversation to have.
Of course they do. Of course they do. My thing is this: when a guy drops back more, and we have both said that I don't know if you guys are better at pass blocking than we are anymore, but in Ohio State's O-line has progressed. But over the year, we have said that your guys' O-line has been better. Has been better.
It's progressed. Yeah.
Progressed. I'm talking about yours. That your O-line has been better.
Yeah.
So if we know you have a better O-line and a supposedly better quarterback, you would think he would have more or less interceptions. Now, yeah, 3 of them came in one game, but he still threw 3 interceptions in one game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that detail matters. How many picks does Kyle have?
4, just like JJ.
Yeah. Okay.
JJ has 4 in 2 games. Kyle has 4 in 3.
Okay. There's more to that stat, but I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna push back on that.
Bro, I'm honestly, if it ended today and they did all Big Ten, Bryce, Kyle McCord would be first team all Big Ten quarterback. That's fact. He would.
No, it just feels so inflated.
Bryce. Hey, Bryce, you know what?
I know.
Look at the stats. Look at the past. Look at the history of that award.
I know.
Like that would happen. Your guy would be second string. I mean, that's what would happen.
Especially when the Big Ten doesn't even have a great quarterback play this year. That's been disappointing.
It's been horrible.
The last thing I'll say about Maryland here, and I think we'll be able to go back and forth. I don't think you need to be like, here's Buckeye hour, here's Michigan hour. But I do think Maryland was a great warm-up test for Michigan, because Michigan hasn't seen offense like that. And I'm not saying the offense is exactly the same.
Right.
I haven't watched it in that much depth, but you just see a quarterback who can sling it. Unfortunately, for the Terps, this quarterback just can't not turn the ball over. It's wild. It is wild. But it's a lot of crossing routes. There's a lot of creativity in the offense. I think obviously Talia is a little more mobile than Kyle. But that said, I think the offenses have a lot of similarities. And so I love that. I love that we had that game. I'm thankful we got it with the W because there's a little hairy there at the end. But I love that we have that game going in to this week. I do. JJ, that said, has to get focused. I don't know what's going on. I've heard different reports. It's them not showing a lot.
He's not getting that pow before the game on his shoulder pads.
Might be. It might be. Well, here's a stat for you. JJ McCarthy in 3 games coached by Sharon Moore this season. 27 of 44. That's 61%. 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, 26-yard rushing, and 0 rushing touchdowns. JJ McCarthy. I was going to say JJ McCarthy in Michigan's other 8 games this season, whether Harbaugh and Mentor or the Jay and Mike Hart coaching. I won't give you the numbers. 76%. So that's a whole additional 13% more. 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns, 0 picks, 138 yards rushing, and 3 rushing touchdowns. So looking really at the
I'm not going to hold it. I don't like how that's being presented. I'm not going to blame that on Sean.
Like that's how it's being presented?
Hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Let's backtrack to that ball, and I don't want to stay here too long.
All right.
Let's backtrack to that Bowling Green game, okay? Every single one of those interceptions was on JJ.
Not necessarily.
The one in the end zone, he threw the triple coverage. The one on the sideline, instead of just throwing it out of bounds to his mom,
that was his
girlfriend fault. Or his dad.
Such a loser.
Instead of doing that, he tries to throw it inbounds and gets picked up again. They got picked up another time. The picks, the pick he threw in this past game, he should have threw a pick before that. Bryce, he should have threw a pick early in the game, but Brader from number 2 for Maryland dropped it. So let's not sit here and act like these picks are not like it's. Sharon Moore I don't think he's a great play caller. I just really don't when it comes to I'm sorry. I don't think he's a great manager of a game. But those picks are on JJ. I don't like how this being. I don't like how that's presented because those interceptions were poor, trying to be Superman errors by JJ. And he has a tendency in games to do that.
Yeah, let's see, this would be the 3rd pick against Bowling Green. That one was forced. The second one, he threw a jump ball to Johnson. Remember in that game too, he threw another jump ball and Johnson came down with it. So I don't want to say that's 100% on him. It was a 75% on him.
Bryce, sure. It was a triple coverage, Bryce.
It was double coverage. It wasn't triple. Go back and watch.
Regardless of the fact we all saw the pass, it was dumb.
It was underthrown as well. So but I think I guess I don't know why you're objecting to those numbers so much. The reality is that he has not produced under Sharon Moore's been the head coach. And he's got to get focused. He's got to get figured out. Like you said, he's not going to get the shoulder pats and the helmet smacks. Like you're not going to get that with Jim. So what's the plan here? Yeah. And I just hope that was a wake up call against Maryland because you're going to need JJ in this game. I'm glad Blake's playing. I think we'll be able to run the ball more than last year because I do think JJ is more of a threat passing the ball. But that said, you can't, like at the end, I think it was 4th quarter, that deep shot to Cornelius Johnson that he just threw it behind him. It wasn't even underthrown. It was just behind him. Mm-hmm. You don't get chances like that often against Ohio State if you do get them. So when you get them.
Not this year. Past years, yeah.
Whenever that is, those opportunities, you have to capitalize on them. So hey, Bryce, he's gonna get focused here.
I'm sorry, Bryce. Just because I have this right here in front of me, so I want to give you this stat because it goes right into what you were just saying. Okay, this is Ohio State's defense this year. They've given up 97 plays of 10 yards plus. That's 4th in the country. They've given up 25 plays of 20 yards or plus. That's 3rd in the country. They've given up 8 plays of 30 or more. That's 3rd in the country. And then 40 plus 1. And if you remember, Bryce, that 1 40-yard play they gave up was a fumble Ruski by Monangai. So, yeah, you're not going to get you are not going to get those chances down the field in Ohio State. And that's why I want to ask you this. How do you truly feel about your wide receivers versus our secondary? If it gets a set, because here's the thing. In Big Ten play, Blake Corum has only been over 5 yards twice this year. And then he has 3 other games, 3.5, 2.5, 2.9.
So if average yards per carry.
Yes. So if you get to 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, how much do you trust that pass rush? I mean that pass pro, and how much time do you think JJ's going to have on that Ohio State secondary?
Yeah, he's going to have to be quick with it. He's going to have to be quick. I think you're going to have to get creative with the pass plays. I said this after the Penn State game where you talk about Chop Robinson just eating Carson Barnhart for lunch. What do you do in those situations? Well, I think you're going to get creative. And they did that in the second quarter. They ran some screen passes to Samaj Morgan. And I just think there are creative plays that you can do. Now, but you guys' defense is elite. I've been saying that all season long. Can I get credit there? I've been saying.
Yes, it took you a couple of weeks.
Well, but compared to most fans.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think JJ's gonna have to be on. You're gonna have to find the tight windows. When you ask me with the receivers to the defense backs, I think Denzel Burke is legit. So I'm not gonna sit here and badmouth him. I think Igbinosa, am I saying his name right? Number one.
Igbinosa.
Yeah, he's a really good defensive back. But I don't think he's crazy shutdown corner like Burke is.
No, that's Hancock.
Do all 3 of those guys play on the field at the same time?
Yep. So because since Ransom came out, Hancock has came into the game.
So is he playing a safety, or is he kind of playing that?
Him and Aben Nelson come in and out. Like as in terms of slot and outside. And then you have Proctor up top. You have Sonny Styles, who leads all Power 5 defenders in rush defense on PFF, which great assault, but PFF.
Yeah.
He leads all Power 5 defenders in the nation at down safety.
All right. So what's your offense, the key to the game for the Buckeyes offense? We'll talk about that first. Keys to the game on the offense.
Travion. And I would say Travion and getting a lot of guys in motion. I think that your guys' front 7, as good as it is, as a whole, I do not believe it's that fast. I think running up the gut on you guys is stupid, but you can do it here. You have to do it here and there, but I think it's stupid. I think with a guy like Travion Henderson, I think he's the key. I think Emeka, I didn't know if he was going to be 100%. Last week, he put up 80 yards. He's back. I think getting the ball. This is a game where we cannot focus on Marv. And when I say focus on Marv, I mean focus on giving him the ball. We got to give him the ball when he needs to get the ball.
That'll hurt his Heisman.
I don't care about that anymore. I want to beat you guys. I think Emeka might have the biggest mismatch in the game. I think he has the biggest mismatch in the game against Josh Wallace. Early this year, I asked everyone, does it worry you that Josh Wallace is literally coming from the Don Brown system? And I wasn't sure if I asked you that. And a lot of people said, no, I'm not worried. Well, that's not the same thing I'm hearing now. The guy gets beat on double moves every single game. So and he runs a lot of double moves. So I think that's probably something that's very big in this game. Also would love to, I put out a poll about this, and most people, I think like 100 some people voted on it. And most people, I said, when Marv goes to the slot, which he does a lot, what do you think they're going to do? Do you keep Mikey there? Do you bring in Will Johnson, or do you go straight zone? And I think that's going to be the biggest, because I think that's the second biggest matchup in the game, when Mikey Sanders still has he's lined up on Marvin Harrison in the slot.
It'd be good to see how they guard Marv, because Jim Harbaugh said in his press conference, he's like, you're not going to stop a player like that. Mm-hmm. So how do you contain him? And I think Michigan the last 2 years has done that. They keep everything in front of them. So your guys are going to get yards. They're going to get their numbers from a sheer yards perspective. So you keep it in front of them. Where's the over-the-top safety help going to be so you don't get beat? We saw it last year where Marv beat Green, just ate him up. And then after that, the rest of the game, you got safety help over the top. But with Travion this year, in the game, the running threat's a little more serious.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do to stop that? And it's a tough order. It's a tall order, man. I think the key to Michigan's defense there is no big plays. I think you got to keep the same recipe as you've done the last 2 years, and keep the guys in front of you. I think you guys can score. You can score quickly. I think
we can score quickly, but we don't.
Yeah, well, you get big chunk yards. I've seen it time and time again when you guys need it the most. 18 or 32 is going to give you a play, and so I'm fully expecting those guys to get their yards, and it's just keeping them out once they get past the 30.
I want to read this to you, Bryce. So this is Blake Corum versus Henderson right now, okay? Blake's had 180 carries this year. Trayvon's at 118. Remember, he's missed 3 games. But that's 62 less carries, okay? Blake Corum is at 888 yards while Trayvon Henderson's at 794. That's 62 less carries.
2 yards.
And it's still under 100 less yards. With that stat I just gave you about Ohio State giving up big plays, Bryce, I guess I'll ask you this. Who do you think is more susceptible to give the big play this game?
Well, it's a good question. That's a good question.
And because my thing is, I'm still strong on this. I don't think you guys have the players to hit big ones on us. And until Donovan Edwards shows me something worth talking about, I don't care about him in the game.
Ooh, let's bookmark that.
I have nothing to say about a guy who averages 3.5 a carry. I have nothing to say about a guy that has 3.5 a carry.
I have fans. Garrison is confident.
Bryce, how long have I been? Wait. I have been just like you've been. Like you have said it early on about our defense. Have I stood on this hill all year about Donovan Edwards? Yes or no?
Sorry, what hill? That he's
the
not
hill
produced?
The hill that he is not producing this year. And he does not look the same. He is, and that whole him being better than Trayvon thing. Have I stood on that hill? Yes.
Sure. I
know I have. And nothing he has done this year is worth talking about. Nothing.
Had a nice game against Penn State.
What did he do? That you talking about a draw play when they stupidly ran an all-out blitz on what was it, 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9. Why would you do that?
Just can't give the guy credit, can you?
Bryce, he's been crap all year.
All right, fine. So you.
I won't say that about Blake. Blake, listen, I think your O-line's not the same, but Donovan he's been crap all year. That's just fact.
We'll see. I'm gonna hold my reservations until after the game on him because
no, one game doesn't mean you ain't been crap all year. That is not how we do that.
Garrison, I don't care if he ran for 2 yards all year and if he produces big this weekend.
I'm talking about as a football person, not a fan. As a football brain, as a football person, one game does not take away the fact that you have been crap all year. It is not.
Well,
I'm
the same fan then.
What?
I'll answer that from a fan's perspective then. I don't care.
Because Bryce, you're not a football fan. You're a Michigan fan. I have told you this. Michigan fans are not football fans.
No, that's such a dumb. All right, stop. We're not going to do this. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said. But all right, you were talking about the Buckeye offense.
Mm-hmm.
You like stats, Garrison. Kyle McCord.
They tell a story.
Kyle McCord is 5th nationally in passer rating in a clean pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what he is under pressure?
One of the worst.
110th. Mm-hmm. Or 110th. There you go. 110th. Yep. Completion percentage drops from 72% to 38%. Yards for each attempt drop from 10.3 to 4. Touchdown. This is the shocking stat. Touchdown interceptions drop from 20 to 2 down to 2 and 2. So 20 starts at 20 touchdowns, 2 picks, drops 2. Well, hard to speak today.
I know
2 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think our front 7 is diabolical. I think they're good. I think you can get there with 4. And I think if I think with this will be the key for Michigan's defense in Ann Arbor,
You think
in
you
the
can
big
get there
house.
4?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Bookmark that.
Okay.
In that environment, in that game, I think if you get to Kyle and you hit him a couple times, you're gonna see some happy feet. And I think you're gonna see that type of production.
I
Is
think
that gonna
that's-
happen? Am I guaranteeing that? No. But I'm
No,
saying that'll be the key.
I think that's a lot of quarterbacks, Bryce. Listen, a lot of that has to do with the O line from early in the year and the fact that Kyle's just not a mobile guy. And as a first, like I know that stat, and I'm not fine with it, but I understand it. With that being said, Kyle's been sacked 14 times this year. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. And for reference, you know how many times JJ's been sacked?
How many?
13.
Wait, how many times has Kyle been sacked?
14.
Yeah.
On 100 more dropbacks. So and mind you, and McCarthy rolls out way more than Kyle does.
Yeah.
Which helps you not get sacked. So that's why I'm very interested to see how this trench play works out. Because when we've been told all years that Ohio State's O-line isn't good and Michigan's is one of the top in the nation. We've been told that. We've been, and just like Robert Saleh, the head coach for the New York Jets, said, sacks is an overrated stat. So
sure.
And I think you guys have 27. We have 21. So all things being equal, I don't see where people believe that your trench play is just that much better than Ohio State's.
But we're not talking about that. I'm talking solely about
I know
Kyle's production under pressure.
I bring it up because his production may go down when under pressure, but all things being equal, I don't know if you guys can get pressure on us like that. I'm saying right now, I don't think maybe on a few plays you might, but I think our playbook is so much more playbook and offense is so much more how do I want to say this? Advanced than your guys, especially in the pass game. I think that's the reason why Kyle hasn't been sacked more. Because we're able to manipulate the defense, I think, more often than a lot of teams can.
So that's your stance. I would say the receiving play is the other side of that. But we'll see. We'll see.
I already agreed with you on that. My thing is you can't sit there and not give him credit. You can't do that. At the end of the day, he has had games without Kate Stover. He has had multiple games without Travion. He has had multiple games without Emeka. So when everyone knows that Marvin's getting the ball and Kyle probably can't go anywhere else, he's still completing passes. That's the truth of the matter.
All right. We'll see.
Full stop.
We'll see. I will believe it when I see it. I will believe it. I believe it.
And listen, man, I'm happy because this is the first time I think we're going to see JJ actually pass the ball against a real defense. And because against Penn State, he didn't really pass the ball. When he tried, he got put on his arse. TCU wasn't great. This is the first real defense I think he's going to play. Illinois had a really good defense last year, but that's not high-end talent everywhere on the field.
Yeah, we'll see. He had no problem passing the ball last year.
Against two. He averaged 50%. And hold on, stop. Why do you keep bringing up last year? Bryce, I tweeted.
I'm just saying. You brought up last year. You brought up Illinois.
No, I did. No, because I was bringing up the fact that he's never played a high-end defense. The reason, listen, I tweeted this yesterday. Regarding this game specifically, if you are still bringing up 2022 and 2021, you don't know ball, and I can't talk to you. Do not bring up last year because this is what you're essentially doing. You're saying that this defense is the same as last year's defense. It's not. It's not. You'd be saying that this year's passing game is the same as last year's pass game. We all know it's not. And then you'd be saying that this run game is the same as last year's run game. We damn sure know it's not. So,
all right, we'll see, brother. We'll see. Hey, how much pressure's on Ryan Day?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, 10 being
4.
a lot.
4.
Okay.
Next year, 8.
Yeah, I think if he loses to Michigan this year without Jim,
Can you stop that narrative, bro?
it's not a narrative. It's it's a
No,
situation at hand.
If Ryan Day wasn't coaching, would you care at all? Would you care at all if you guys won
If
that
your
game?
head coach wasn't
No,
coaching,
listen to what I'm saying. If Ryan Day was not able to coach this game and Jim Harbaugh was, and then you guys won, would you care to hear about Ryan Day not being there?
it's not the situation I said to you.
No, Bryce. I'm making a point. Would you care for me to come to you and say, "Well, Ryan Day wasn't there"? Would you care? Honestly, as a fan, would you care?
But that's not what I just said.
Okay, Bryce. Okay, okay. Wait, no, it's going over your head, Bryce. I don't care that your coach isn't there.
So if Ryan Day loses, you don't care.
No, wait. Stop. No, ask that question again.
If Ryan Day loses,
yes, I care that if he loses the game. Yeah, like that. Bryce, Boo Boo the Fool can be coaching this game for Michigan, and I'm gonna care. I don't care who's coaching this game. I don't.
You are fired up. I love it. It's only Wednesday as we're recording this.
What are you talking about, Jim Harbaugh? I don't know.
I'm just saying, if Jim Harbaugh,
he can sit on the toilet all game. I don't care what he's doing. He go watch his mom in a bathing suit and oil her up. I don't care what he's doing.
No, don't be gross. That's gross.
Well, that's what he sound like.
No, that's not. That's not at all what he sounded like. That's not at all what he said. But I think if Ryan Day loses this game and you lose 3 in a row and you lose it after Jim not being on the sideline, not coaching, I think Buckeye Nation will riot. After all the work you guys have put in with this obnoxious cheating scandal.
Bryce, they rioted last year and the year before. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm just saying that's what we were gonna see.
I don't care what they do. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the narratives of the aftermath. I don't care about any of that. I don't care. I care about football. I don't care about the aftermath of what happened. No, that Bryce, that's other stuff. That's other stuff. I care about what happens on the field. That's what I care about. That's it.
I love it. Game on. All right.
Talking about how our coaches feel. Don't darn about that.
What's prediction?
I think Ohio State's defense limits the big plays, and then I think Ohio State's offense gets more big plays. As I said before, Blake Corum has only had 2 games over 5 yards per carry, and games that he's at 5 yards per carry. I don't think it's going to be his third one. I think Michigan tries to get the ball to their tight ends because the wide receivers will be locked down, but I don't think that nickeling, as you've seen all year, nickeling and diming the ball down the field against Ohio State is not how you're going to win this game. It's not going to help you. I think Kyle McCord makes the plays that he has to make. Give me Ohio State 23. Michigan 17.
23-17. 6 point spread. Okay. I think there's going to be keys for Michigan. I'm hoping that there is a playbook that they're going to unleash. There are things that they've hidden all year. I'm going to rely on that. And JJ will be focused. If JJ is focused and those things come in and we get to Kyle McCord, I'm going to go 28-24 Michigan. And so that would mean that they do cover.
You said 28-24?
28-24. Which would be the over. Yeah, it's 45, I think. All right, brother. Well,
I'm amazed at people that think this game is gonna get. I've seen people say Michigan's gonna score 38 points. I just want to smack them over the head.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We'll see. All right. Well, no matter what happens, you're still my friend. I still love you. But we also probably won't speak for the next 4 days.
I want to say this. I want to say the same for you on all that nice stuff you just said, but instead I'm going to end it like this.
Wow.
We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. Whole state of Michigan. Whole state of Michigan. We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. We're from Ohio.